Since May 2020, Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton has served as honorary chair of CARE's 75th anniversary. She is the first ever honoree to receive the CARE Lifetime Award for the pursuit of women's rights for her unparalleled decades of advocacy for the rights of children, girls, and women around the world. From her remarks as First Lady at the Beijing Women's Conference in 1995, where she famously declared that women's rights are human rights and human rights are women's rights, to her roles as U.S. Senator and Secretary of State, Secretary Clinton's leadership has challenged norms, shaped policy, and changed lives. It is for her years as a champion of women and girls worldwide that CARE presents Secretary Clinton with the CARE Lifetime Award for the pursuit of women's rights. Please join me in congratulating Secretary Hillary Clinton.
Women's rights are human rights once and for all.
We care about people who work from sunup to sundown to secure the basics of a healthy life, about the repercussions of a global economic system that traps more than 1 billion people in poverty, most of them women and children. I'm inspired by the example of so many people around the world every single day. The women and men whom I've met who, against the most daunting odds, have made a difference for their families and their communities, and just didn't know the meaning of the word impossible. We each now have the potential in this globalized, interconnected world to act, particularly if we ensure that the benefits reach women, who are more likely to pass them on to their children. Focus on women if you want lasting, measurable results.
Good evening, everyone. I am delighted to serve as honorary chair of CARE's 75th anniversary and to join you for tonight's Virtual Impact Awards. I'm especially grateful to be the inaugural recipient of CARE's Lifetime Award for the pursuit of women's rights. You know, already this evening, you've heard incredible performances from Yo-Yo Ma and Cynthia Erivo. And while I don't play an instrument, and I promise not to sing, I want to take this opportunity to celebrate CARE's extraordinary vision and impact. For 75 years and counting, CARE has been committed to fighting global poverty. And I've always appreciated the special focus they bring to supporting women and girls, a lifelong interest and goal of mine. There's so much evidence now to confirm what we have known in our hearts and our lived experience for years. When we lift up women and girls, we lift up families, communities, and entire nations. That's something that CARE deeply understands. That's why women and girls are at the heart of CARE's efforts to improve education and health, to create economic opportunity, to confront hunger and respond to emergencies like the COVID-19 pandemic that has consumed our lives for nearly 2 years. But let's be honest, shall we? I know it can be easy to get discouraged, to get overwhelmed. And it's true that the challenges we face today are too big and too complex for any one purpose, any one person, any one organization, or even one country to tackle alone. But that's why we've got to work together. You know, I do like to say it takes a village, and I've certainly seen that play out over the course of this pandemic, because we've all had to fight collectively for our health, our rights, and yes, in many places, even democracy. Whether it's tackling the poverty and inequality that existed long before anyone had ever heard of COVID-19, or taking on the problems that have become much more obvious because of COVID-19, CARE has been there. And so too have women. Women have been disproportionately impacted by this pandemic. And over the past years, women have been stepping up in record numbers, demonstrating inclusive, empathetic, science-based leadership that we need desperately around the world. Women have to be at the table, and women's voices and experiences have to be heard and respected if we're going to be able to deal not just with the pandemic today, but with whatever the future throws at us. Future pandemics, climate change, inequity, so much that we face and we know we will continue to confront. But the good news is, I believe with all my heart, we have a golden opportunity to build back a safer and more equitable future. One that starts with vaccine equity, because no one should be denied the opportunity of receiving life-saving COVID vaccines because of their social, geographic, political, economic, or environmental circumstances. Women have a key role to play in this fight as advocates for our families, our communities, and our countries. And I know that CARE, once again, is on the front lines, helping to protect communities in need, helping to get more people vaccinated, helping to get more kids back into school, helping to bring about a more equitable recovery for a stronger future. I was so honored when Michelle Nunn first asked me to serve as honorary co-chair of this 75th anniversary. I was really happy to take on this role because I wanted to use my voice to lift up this incredible organization. I consider that a high privilege. Of course, I'm thankful to CARE for everything it has done for 75 years, but also what it's doing right now to rise to the challenges facing us. And that, to me, is the reason we're all together tonight. Because marking this anniversary and celebrating these awards is about looking to the future. So I wish all of you continued health and safety as we still navigate our way out of this pandemic. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning in tonight and for supporting CARE. CARE is there whenever we need it, and may it ever be so. Thank you all very much.